Aloha! Greetings to all and welcome to Keep Living the Dream. My name is Matt Higashida.
And I'm Suzette Higashida. This video shows images from our bus tour as we traveled along the Klondike Highway from Skagway, Alaska to Frasier in Canada.
Then we rode a train to come back down from Frasier to Skagway along the historical White Pass train route.
Once again, we were blessed with beautiful weather. We hope you liked the video as we share a little of what we learned about the history of the Klondike Gold Rush.
Much aloha and mahalo, take care, and keep living the dream.
We stopped at a waterfall.
Looks like the road that we took to come up.
Oh, wow.
We woke up early and had breakfast at the Horizon Court Buffet. We met our guide Sumira at 7:30 a.m. to catch the bus up to the train station in Canada. Then we rode the White Pass train back to Skagway.
Back in the day, that whole rock wall would clear to trees so businesses would get up there and paint advertisements so that when a ship docked, all they had to do was look up and see what the town had to offer. Grind the ground under them into this fine powder glacial silt, and that's what's suspended in the water, giving it that look.
We stopped at a waterfall on the way to the train.
We're in Skagway and we're going up the mountain to catch a train that was used for the Klondike Gold Rush.
Just on one side, this is flagging, and it's because of how windy it gets up here too. So gusts of wind of over 90 miles an hour. If it's snowing outside while the wind is blowing like that, it's just going to be ice shards attacking the trees out here. Like it can be a little weird looking. That's called flagging. Temperatures get insanely cold. Talking -40. -40 is the same in Fahrenheit as it is in Celsius.
As we drove up the mountain on the Klondike Highway, our guide pointed out that the poles along the side of the highway that looked like light poles were actually snowplow guides. There's no electricity up there, and they're there to keep the snowplows on the road because this area is prone to frequent heavy snowfall, strong winds, and poor visibility. The poles have reflective markers and are strategically placed to identify highway boundaries.
See a Welcome to Alaska sign, and in the background it's called Sawtooth Mountain.
Tormented Valley gets its name from what the stampeders went through when they came through here. And they weren't here in, it's going to get to be 78 degrees today, but nice toasty August. They were up here in the dead of winter when there is crazy snow and winds and temperatures.
On our bus tour, we learned about the stampeders who were required to carry a ton of supplies per person for 1 year up to the summit in the north. Stampeders were those who participated in the gold rush to the Klondike gold fields during the late 19th century Klondike Gold Rush from 1896 to 1899.
Part of what makes Tormented Valley look so unique is the effects of glaciation. So the glaciers that tore through here during the last ice age really did a number on these mountains. These are granite. And granite tends to be a bit more on the jagged side. And you can see a lot of the peaks where they are still pretty pointy. These guys were just taller than glaciers. Well, 5,000 feet of ice coming through here, knocking off all of the excess rock on the mountains, smoothing them out. They carried these huge boulders in the glaciers until they melted, depositing these massive rocks everywhere, which we can still see today. These are glacial erratics. Those glaciers went deeper in some spots, and those spots filled with water. So there's a whole bunch of these little lakes out here.
The term stampeders is derived from the idea of a stampede, symbolizing the frenzied and often chaotic movement of people seeking their fortune. Hear the birds? Let's see if I can zoom in on them. This is, we've crossed the Canada border. So these lakes here were made from the glaciers. I guess that's the closest we're going to get to those birds. But this is the kind of thing you see on like pictures, jigsaw puzzles.
We're here in Canada now, and this area was created by the glaciers that just came down through this area. And it just scarred the area. And whatever was left was this beautiful lake here.
Lake Bernard, Frasier, British Columbia. With beautiful weather. For our tour that day, as we traveled along the Klondike Highway, we learned about the transportation corridors, the Chilkoot Trail and the White Pass Trail that the Stampeders traveled. These transportation corridors carry strong sustained winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. These winds are what Skagway is famous for and gave Skagway its name.
Okay. You can see the train tracks that will take us back to Skagway. And this is Lake Bernard. We're in Frasier, just past the Canadian border, and US Customs came aboard to see everyone's passport, and now we're just gonna get down to the train station to ride our train.
Today, the Chilkoot Trail is a hike you can take in the Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park. We did not do that hike and chose to do the White Pass Rail and travel the Klondike Highway. As mentioned previously, there were two trails to choose from, the shorter but steeper Chilkoot Trail or the longer, less steep White Pass Trail. It was believed that pack animals could be used on the White Pass Trail and would make it easier. Both trails led to the interior lake country where the Stampeders could begin a 550-mile journey through the lake systems to the Yukon River and gold fields.
Okay, we're riding the White Pass Yukon train. Going back to Skagway now.
Today, it is a scenic train ride popular with tourists, offering breathtaking views of mountains, glaciers, and waterfalls. It is these breathtaking views and highlights that we are sharing with you in our video. Locomotive there.
And this divide coming up here indicates the track will split into two tracks. green light.
Focus on the positives and not the negatives. Do the things you still can do. Keep living the dream. Share your time with family and friends and take good care of your health.
At the Trail of 98 marker, we saw the visible remains of this famous trail that was the primary route from Skagway to the goldfields.
This is an old railroad crossing over the mountain.
The steel bridge you see was constructed in 1901, and it was the tallest cantilever bridge in the world. It was used until 1969. Dead Horse Gulch is where 3,000 pack animals met their tragic end in the Stampede of '98 due to neglect by stampeders and overloading. It was because of this that a few men began to think of easier ways to travel the Klondike. This is when the idea for the White Pass Rail was born. Unfortunately, after 10,000 of men and 450 tons of explosives, by the time the White Pass Rail was finished, the gold rush was over. This photo is of Inspiration Point, a viewpoint accessible only by riding the White Pass train. We can see why it inspired many photographers and artists.
'Cause all the money in the world won't matter if you don't share those priceless times with those you love. Live each day and get stoked. Be sure to get some friends, places and try new things. Keep living the dream.
the side of the gulch right now. So the conductor is going slow right now. Shore up the sides here.
Buchanan Rock marks one of the most difficult engineering sections. It was named after Michael J. Buchanan, who along with his team identified and surveyed the path for the railway in this challenging area. It offers breathtaking views of the Skagway River Valley below and the surrounding mountains.
That was a stop. They stopped to pick up a hiker.
As you cross the east fork of the Skagway River near Denver Glacier Trail that leads to the base of the glacier, there is a donated White Pass and Yukon Rail Red Caboose cabin that can be rented through the U.S. Forest Service. Out of the estimated 100,000 stampeders who set out for the Klondike, only about 30,000 to 40,000 made it to the goldfields, and even fewer found significant gold. It is because of this that the Stampeder's journey is remembered as a symbol of perseverance and ambition, even though for most it ended in disappointment or financial ruin.
'Cause all the money in the world won't matter if you don't take the time to live with no regrets.
Amazing. Completely made with driftwood on the exterior. This is Broadway, on Broadway Street. And these buildings were left like this on purpose. These are the original buildings, and it gives the feel that you're in a different era when there was the gold rush time. So these buildings are restored, and they kept it to give that feeling that you're in a different time and era.
Hi, we're in Skagway, and that's the town of Skagway in the back that we just walked through. It's really short. In the back of us. Hi everyone, we're in Skagway with the Princess Cruise. The ship is in the back of us, and you can see the snow-capped mountain. Isn't it beautiful? We had such a nice day here. Sunny.
It was totally awesome.
Usually there's rain.
I think we brought the good weather.
Yay.
This is such a huge ship, the Grand Princess. The bridge is up there. And as I look down, there's 10 life crafts on this side. So there's probably 10 more on the other side. And wow, it's just a really, really long ship. It's very stable. Alright, I'm gonna have chicken adobo today. Yeah. And this is, I'm gonna have the chicken adobo with some pasta and rotelli with zucchini. I'm back at the table, and I decided to add more things to the chicken adobo with the rotelli and zucchini. Have some peas, have some rice. Wow, haven't eaten like this for so long, and the chicken adobo tastes really good. This is my second serving of chicken adobo.